shorty, she a savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of illusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She a addict, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. I hit you when you were just baiting, so what? You hit me when I was so faded, so what? Said fuck everything cause I'm jaded, so what? I did all this shit and ain't taking no love. That little part of my life fell in love with them drugs. Not taking shit back, I love who I'm becoming. Fuck that shit, shorty, we could be nothing. Back when I'm in Saudi, copping some dumb shit. Only 110 out of 10's in the spot. Only 110 out of 10's where you thought. $250,000, that's on this Richard pocket watch. Still flexing on niggas cause I know they watch. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she a savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of illusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She a addict, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Check my phone out, a hoe say she miss me. Smoking this gas got me feeling rich. When it comes to a freak, I ain't even picky. Just off this fit, turn her to a pig. I still my twin Mordecai and Rick. You worry about tech, I give a nigga 50. What a broke nigga always got. That's something to say, but none of them niggas with me. Been blocking windows, I feel like I'm Wendy. No, she don't want Louis, she want a new Fendi. Can't open the text in the public no more. Ain't no way to predict like what she gon' send. I'm not even doing the talking no more. I don't even think that they really gon' get it. I'm not getting rich here, it do not concern me. Cause every day I feel like that Billy ready. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she a savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of illusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She a addict, but I'd rather say she passionate.
I really want to fade Tiger today. I hate saying that. It doesn't feel right. I mean, who else has the stack to do it?
How are we not pairing this with Judge? Fading the GOAT, I feel like a Judge pairing is required.
You know, Jovan, I could be convinced, and I think I am.
The Sooners to take care of business by 4+ runs tonight. I think the offense for Oklahoma really picks it up when we have Kyson Witherspoon on the mound. I will take my chances that the offense is going to do enough to get this into a pretty ugly game.
There's not enough glue guys to go around, Jovan. They got no glue guys in that locker room in Philly. Zero. They got the opposite. They got the most toxic team of all time. They don't give a hoot. Let's leave them in the Big 2-4. At least for now. I would have taken Peebles if he was up there.
I'm gonna meet.
Dude, there's no way we're talking about sped up videos.
Dude, he was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 659 piece. As always, hold the fry. Joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by SeatGeek. If you're going to any games this weekend, maybe you're going to a March Madness game, or maybe you're looking to buy your opening day tickets. Where are you buying your tickets at, Jovan? I'll give you the answer real quick. It's SeatGeek. And use promo code Bookit10 to get a discount on not just your next purchase, but all your future purchases over there on the best bet tracking app, the best ticket purchasing app out there by far in SeatGeek. Almost went into full picket mode there. Jovan, if the people don't have SeatGeek downloaded on their phones, what are they doing? Where are they buying their tickets? Not the right place.
Crazy.
That I know.
Crazy, of course.
That I know. Get your opening day tickets on SeatGeek. Okay? Jovan, we're not going to spend too much time on the recaps here. We do have 2 W guests coming up who we want to glaze and get them up here ASAP. But let's do the W recaps here. W squad ride on Friday. I want Jovan to go ahead and toot his own horn. Maybe the luckiest squad ride of all time, but hey, we deserve some luck to go our way. So W's Jovan. Didn't think it was possible, but my God, it is.
Yeah. I clicked on that total. That live line got up in the 180s, man. That was absurd. Shout out Illinois for being dog shit.
Yep. I cannot believe it still. I'm still trying to figure out, crunch the numbers, Jovan, do the math. on that puppy, but we'll take a
how.
squad ride W. Okay. Let's take a peep at the Sharp Report recap, see how we did overall on Friday before we get our W guests up here. Not a great day from me. Shout out Castro with the NBA scouts in attendance. He didn't come through. Donovan Dent did. Purdue was a shit bet. Besides Braden Smith, that team is a shell of itself in recent years. Coach Painter's got his hands full in the tournament. St. Joe's, the Hawk will never die. They were a good-looking play. And I'll go ahead and address the one play you guys actually give a hoot about, Kent State.
Yeah,
all right.
Krabs. And can't, man. I can't.
Yeah, if I ever bet on Kent State again and they don't cover or win, I will do a mac and cheese review on the feed.
You literally just said in our meeting that you're going to bet on them tomorrow. So get lobster mac and cheese up and move.
They better win and they better cover. Kent State, it's like they're losing games on purpose. FBI, look into them. I'll leave it at that. Jovan, thoughts on your card from Friday?
3 solid plays. Baylor, horrible wager. They got mucked. And I would be mad about the Texas hook because they fouled for no reason. But realistically, that wasn't a good bet anyway. So I'll live with that, even though they sucked. But everybody else did a job. Cryer was curried. D-Book had like 13 assists. He was cooking.
Castro, the only goat on Prize Picks who didn't come through. I saw somebody in chat said they took his points that cashed. Good to see that as well. At least you got that read. W's. Jovan, let's try to go 4 for 4 today. And once chat sees my squares, they're probably not going to think it's possible, but I do. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Before we get to those plays for today, before we get to the Sharp Report, why don't we go ahead and set the scene here, Jovan? Let's get our 2 guests up here. Let's get them up and moving. Rumor has it we had a little 1v1 matchup on Friday. And we had to get 2 of the GOATs up here to talk about it a little bit. Biev and Degen, how we doing? Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us, boys. How we feeling? You guys a little sore after that game on Friday? You hurting a little bit?
Degen, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, I'm hurting a lot of it. And I went golfing with my family yesterday. We had a nice 18 holes set up, booked like 2 weeks in advance. And I don't know why I thought 2 days after playing Biev, I was going to be okay. I had to call it after 9. I got the knee wraps, double knee wraps.
Shot.
Double knee wraps. A lot of ice. Not good. I mean, I've got bad knees. That's no secret. I've been dealing with that for a long time. Patellar tendonitis. But I certainly didn't think playing basketball for, I don't know how long our game went on, maybe 20 minutes. I didn't know it was going to leave me in that bad of shape.
I mean, to have to call it after 9, I'm hurting for you. That sucks.
Yes, I will say that my back has been hurting more than I think it's ever hurt before. I don't know if that's from sleeping on MJ's couch or maybe Degen's a little stronger than I thought. But my back hurts more than I think it ever has. So at least you got me.
Maybe it was a little bit of a challenge, a little more of a challenge for Biev.
One part of the war.
Okay.
Well,
can we go ahead, Degen?
My wife asked me after it was over and was like, I explained to her how tired I was because I totally forget. You know, she's like, you run, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, basketball is entirely different. And she was like, well, was he at least tired after you played? And they played like 3 or 4 fucking games after, like 3-on-3. He was running around totally fine. I had to go buy a pound of ice from the deli across the street and lay there for 40 minutes on the ground. So it's nice to hear his back's hurting at least.
Well, before we talk about the outcome, I want to go ahead and gas you guys up for a second. We got a couple highlights here.
I'm down for that.
A WBeef highlight here. We'll show you guys. Beef, you think you're on the Harlem Globetrotters or something here? Were you just toying around with Degen at this point?
Like 3 tips in, I knew he couldn't get it, so then I just stopped jumping.
And then next thing you know, right? First of all, you look like an NBA player out there doing these moves. You're moving pretty quick out there. And then you bang a 3 right in his face. Can we pause it real quick? Degen, at this point, after that play happens, you got to be thinking to yourself, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Oh, right. Let me tell you something. I knew the night before when I saw Biev at Madison Square Garden, and we just jokingly, I think MJ took a video of it, like jokingly posted up, and he spun off of me. I'm not kidding. That had me so shook because it was a very athletic basketball player like spin. It was so quick. The form was great. I was talking about it the rest of the night. I would just looked at like steak next to me and I'm like,
it was rent-free already.
It was bad news. I knew I was going into this getting fucked up. I severely underestimated his athleticism though.
Basketball's hard, especially when you haven't played in a while. It's not easy. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, a while is like for me,
it's impossible.
I haven't played in probably like 7 or 8 years. He fucking plays once a week, apparently, which makes so much sense in terms of conditioning.
But to be fair, I play people like you. I play all old men's league, so it's like it's not like I'm playing young guys. Like it's just a bunch of old men's. I'm not trying. Like nobody's trying. It's not a hardcore league. But yeah, I mean, playing once a week is better than playing.
You got way more reps in though. That certainly gives you a little edge.
Yeah.
I'm also 10 years younger. That helps.
Helps
sure.
a lot.
And you got about a foot. You got about a foot of height on him as well.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to make this all just roasting Degen and showing these highlights. We do have one highlight here from Degen that I want to pull up here. And this made me, I mean, I was laughing out loud when you guys sent this video in the group chat. Absolutely hysterical. The celebrations after this point, we'll let it play out here, but I wish I was there celebrating with you guys. I would have been going fucking bonkers.
This
like
is
a
his
Super
go-to
Bowl
move.
probably.
He did this move every time.
The old fadeaway, drains it. Sure he can, and the crowd goes nuts.
So people kept telling me to not go with the post fadeaway, and I just don't really think they realized Biev was not giving me an inch.
Yeah, you're
see
not
him right there. You see him up at the top of the key.
Yeah, he's right up in your grill.
What am I supposed to do? I can't. Also, I had a realization too. I mean, I know I played basketball, but I've never been a scorer. I am not a one-on-one guy. Like my game is not suited for one-on-one. Not to mention the height disadvantage or anything. I had no other choice but to try to get a little bit in there. And then when I did turn around for the shot, he's a giant. He's all up on top of me. I had to abandon all form. I was shooting the ball like Carlos Boozer, you know, where he goes over his head. I was
launching it over his head.
I abandoned form and I leaned into prayer. And I still like this didn't feel good coming off of I had shots that I thought
form did not look great, but hey, it went in. It went in. That's all that fucking matters.
They were roasting his form, but I don't think they realized that he had like his form's good normally, and he's just shooting. When he had to,
he's just trying to get it over you.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, because there was a hilarious comment. There were probably 3 times where I literally just lobbed it like sky hook or like threw it, you know, underneath, and the ball went behind the backboard. And somebody commented in the Twitch chat was like, if the basket was behind the hoop, DJ would have 2 points. I do just want people to understand, like, I can at least shoot a ball and it will hit the rim. It won't go in. Yeah. But when Biev is guarding me with that type of defense and that reach, I had to literally just fucking throw it in the air and see what happened.
Biev is playing like he had a fucking plus 1,000 shutout.
Like DJ said, I want your all. Right? I don't want you to take it easy. I want your all. So I made it work that I was gonna give it my all.
I'm glad he admitted that because it felt like that. Like it felt from the start. He was there to beat me 15-0. And that's how I wanted it. I didn't want him to let up. He gave me one shot at the end that I still missed. He gave me some space. But I mean, he went 3 for 3 to start the game from 2. Not that it would have the result wouldn't have been any different, but that was a little demoralizing because I'm like, holy fuck.
I mean, I can't even imagine, bro. You're thinking about it all night after he's doing spin moves on you at the fucking arena the night before. He hits back-to-back triples to start it out. I mean, how are you going to fucking stay locked in the rest of that game?
What are these comments in chat by Yay Lad saying he let up the whole game? Biev, can you address that?
Yeah, only when it was 14-1, I gave him 2 shots.
Thank you, bozo.
Okay. Yeah, looks like pretty tough defense to me. Looks
it's
like
great defense.
Yeah, it looks
he
like he's
smothered me. Smothered
fucking this Drake team himself.
Yeah, that is true. It was a lot of pent up anger. I was sleeping on a couch for 4 days, and I lost literally every single bet while I was there. Thousands of dollars. Marquette hit a banked in 3 to lose me $1,000 while I was there. So I mean, Degen just got the shit into the stick.
That sucks, right? Yeah. The spot you were in, Degen, you didn't have a fucking chance, and it's not even your fault. It's not even your doing. It's just Biev couldn't buy a bet, and he took out his anger on you. Good use of the game, though, Biev, for that, right? Way to get your anger out, and then it showed.
I took
great
Iowa
game,
money line against Ohio State. He even told me, he said, if Ohio State loses this game, you're going to wish that never happened because I'm going to take out even more anger on you.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I mean, Degen, this is what you're talking about post-game when the rest of the boys are playing 3 pickup games after.
Let me explain something. When it was 7-0, I had a hard time catching my breath. Cam His Money commented and was like, what are you tired from? He settled for 3 threes. He's not even driving. What you fail to realize is when I had the ball, because it wasn't make it, take it, I was trying to like at least use my body, get around him a little bit, running for rebounds. that type of activity and cardio, incredibly underestimated. It is a different type of conditioning. I was dead.
Yep. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And that's when Biev's, YMCA once a week comes into play there. He had a little extra stamina.
It's true.
But Biev, you were playing pretty fucking hard the entire game besides the last shot at the end you gave to Jen that he missed.
Yeah.
But you were playing your hardest, and it showed. What was the final score
15-1.
on this puppy? And then we'll move on. Okay. Honestly, to Jen, good for you, bro, putting the ball in the fucking bucket against the hard-head Biev, playing at his best. Good for you, bro.
I won.
Let's clap it up
One
for
fade
Jen.
was clean. It was clean.
It was clean.
That was a good-looking bucket. Sure. Great idea, by the way, gents. Wanted to get you guys up here, gas you up. Before we let you go, any PODs for today? I know the slate sucks. If you don't have a POD today, you can give a dog or a play you like in the tournament. But we can start with the Jen. You got anything you're in love with today on Monday's slate?
Haven't even looked at it. Just been talking about round one. I can
Yep.
give you my favorite bet of round one.
Please.
I like the Georgia Bulldogs, and I like them a lot. I don't understand the glazing of Gonzaga. I've heard a lot of people talk about this team and saying that they're the best. What is it, the 8 seed? Maybe ever. I don't get it. And again, I have limited viewing experience because I don't live and breathe college basketball, so I haven't watched this team play a lot. But I like what I saw from Georgia when I did watch them down the stretch. I think they've got some scrappy dudes, and I kind of want to, the SEC, I think it's probably known as being the best conference. And yeah, I know everybody who talks about Bama, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee. Like the top teams are one thing, but what about like maybe the forgotten guys like Missouri and Georgia that are in here, Ole Miss? I'm wondering if any of them can show up and make a little bit of a splash. It's not so much about betting on Georgia as it is kind of fading Gonzaga. It looked like this opened 4.5 and it's already up to 6.5. If I was a pro better, I guess I would see value in that opener too. It looks pretty short. I'm gonna fade the steam. Give me Georgia plus 6.5.
Jovan, give the breakdown on what we thought last night with the line move and your thoughts now.
I mean, my thoughts are still the same. I'm with the
Okay.
Jen. I think everybody loves the Zags, and I get it because they're a team that the analytics love, but Georgia's just a hard-nosed physical team. Mason Newell's fantastic. It's going to put a lot of pressure on EK to be perfect. So I don't think they're consistently going to get as many open looks as they do against everybody in the WCC against Georgia. They're going to have to beat them in the post. So see if EK can do it. I'm still with the dogs.
And don't we kind of think, last thing, don't you kind of think like Jovan, kind of like how we were talking about the end of Mike Gundy in Oklahoma State? Can't this be the end of Mark Few?
I mean, honestly, him winning that last the WCC tourney probably bought him another season of staying off the hot seat, right? Him finally coming through, being St. Mary. If he loses that game, a third straight to St. Mary's this past season, I'm agreeing with you 100% right now. But I think that WCC W probably bought him another year.
Hanging on by a thread, I think. And I think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to be the knockout blow.
I don't disagree. If that line was still at 4.5, I'd say it's my favorite play of the first round. The fact that it's at 6.5, it's fine. It's moved 2 points. Like you said, the Sharps probably finding some value at that low number as a small favorite with Gonzaga, but I don't give a hoot. Back the SEC squad, back Georgia. Who wants to bet them at plus 6.5 after the Zags just beat St. Mary's and won their conference, right? Probably nobody.
Sure.
I'm in. Beef. You got to play today, or you got to play your iron in the first rounds? What are you
I'm
crafting
a
up over there,
basketball guy, so I got nothing today. I'll probably tail some goats on some plays, whether it's NBA or whatever. I got two.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I got 2 nukes in the first round. Creighton over Louisville is going to be a large wager for me. I'm fading the ACC any chance I can. Besides Duke, I think the ACC is garbage. UNC, Louisville. Who am I missing? Who's the other one? Clemson. Fading them any way I can. This Creighton team's good. They are a lot better than I'm a little scared at the line. I'm just going to take everything, any contrarian out of me and just bet it because I know Creighton's a better team. And then I got, who's the other one? Another fake sharp, fake square, whatever you want to call it. Michigan's going to murder UC San Diego. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm so happy you brought this up.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing you tweeting about it, Beef.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking it's so clear now at this point where everybody's talking about, oh my God, UCSD is the most public dog. I think it's actually double fake sharp where I'm getting to the point where I might actually bet the Tritons.
Yeah.
I might be back on the Tritons because everybody on earth, all 8 billion, are hip to how weird that line is now. They're all talking about it now. Everybody's getting back on the Michigan bandwagon. I feel like it's becoming so fake sharp that I might end up staying on the original side with the Tritons.
Yeah, I think I don't know. People are just betting this because of the line or just because UC San Diego is everyone's darling. I feel like they're last year's McNeese. But if you've watched both these teams play, I don't know how UC San Diego matches up with Michigan. I mean, UC San Diego, their entire lineup is 6'6". They don't have Goldine. They don't have Wolf. I don't know how they get it done. I think Michigan rolls.
Jovan, they got one chance. You were talking about it earlier, right? Turnovers.
Yeah.
Probably about it.
True. It's their only hope. It's just, I get the whole part of the matchup, and I get that they're some analytical darling, that they're the best 12 seed by the metrics that this tournament's ever seen. It's just, you could make an argument they could match up with one big. I don't know about two. They're going to need to force a lot of
They're going to have their hands full. They will.
Yeah. Plus, I'm just not sure a lot of the people who are so obsessed with UC San Diego have actually watched them play. You watch them play. They're not that impressive.
No, they have what's the one kid who is actually a stud, but he's like he looks like me. He's like 6'3" and looks like a dork. I mean, there's no way he should be doing what he's doing. Yeah.
And it's their offense too. Like, it's all him getting to the free throw line. It's either that or they take advantage of being small against some bigger teams like they did against UC Irvine.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like fitting a square peg in a round hole for this matchup, anything other than turnovers.
Yeah. Definitely the most talked about game and potential upset already. Very curious to see how it plays out. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on today. Degen, get some rest today as well. We got a big couple days coming up. A lot of college basketball. We need you at full strength. Biev, thanks for joining us as well. Good luck out there.
I do have one thing before we go. Ramble, we were discussing this on the walk back. Bookit with Ramble, 1v1. We were discussing matchups. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think you guys have the advantage everywhere other than me and Rosa. I think you guys can take them. We're discussing who's the 1 and 2 from Bookit. We could not decide. It got some Krabs and LC.
I think LC for sure point guard.
I mean, yeah, she could just make threes and actually make her shot.
LC and Rosa would do numbers. That would do numbers.
Sure. I feel like I could hang around. I'd say my game is pretty familiar, pretty comparable to Zebo. If you remember him back in the day.
I think
a lot of back downs, a lot of fades, a lot of hooks.
Jovan MJ would also feed families. We need to get this going.
Sure. Yeah, sign me up, dude. A 5v5.
MJ's good. I don't think you can undersell MJ. He can play.
MJ's a fraud. I know he's in the chat. He's a fraud. He's a bum.
Boys, have a great week. Good luck in March. We'll talk to you guys soon. We'll get you on here again. We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We'll be. Yep. Long overdue. Like I said the other day, guys, going to try to get more goats back on here like we did in the old days when it makes sense. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I can see an uptick in viewers. Looks like you guys are happy we did that as well. Let's keep moving and grooving and growing BTL like we've done the last couple of years. And let's kill it today. Jovan, I know he plays the games, right? We don't have much to work with, but we'll scope out and find some winners for today. We're going to be okay. All right. And let's get one thing perfectly clear because we've talked about this in the past. Who's the best Bookit baller? It's got to be LC still.
Yeah.
She played in organized. Yeah. College has to be. Goods, you're probably up there at number 2, but Goods, who's your player comp? The people need to know.
Player comp.
Who's your NBA player comp out there on the court?
I mean, you might have to do it for me. I could tell you. I play pretty tough and pretty try hard when I play, even if it's pretty, not serious.
Yeah.
So I'll get some boards, even though I'm not like 6 foot. I'm 5'11", but I'll get some boards.
Jovan, he's an undersized center. Plays a little bit bigger than he is. Shows some heart. Not Embiid.
Javi Sale.
Nope. Brian Scalabrine. Okay.
You could be a Grant Williams.
There you go. Yeah, great.
Grant Williams, hard guy.
Actually, no, I don't want that.
Scoots is Charles Barkley. Okay. You might be Chalk Goots.
You could be PJ Tucker.
Could be Joakim
Duncan Robinson, the Admiral. Yeah, that's effort-wise.
Is Goots strapping like Dunk?
Oh, I can strap.
I don't know like that. If you can strap like that.
I can strap. Zach Randolph from Trent, I'm sure. Okay.
I'm so certain.
This is rude. I love DJ Burns, but what do you think? I'm 400 pounds. Come on.
Hey, DJ Burns slimmed down these days,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Did you tell me that, Goots?
All
All right, couple things here. Enough bullshit, and we do have to lock in and talk about some winners. But W Goots keeping us in line. We got some plays starting up here soon. Before we get into them, before we start talking about the Sharp Report, gents, got to gas up the Bookit Bracket group real quick. We'll drop the link again in the chat. If you guys want to get involved, join the Bookit Bracket group. You can win some Prize Picks promo. If you don't have Prize Picks, still join the group. Don't be a sourpuss. Get involved. It's more important than the Prize Picks coins you can get. That's a flex. You tweet that out on socials, you're going to get a like or a response from Trent and the squads. See if you can finish in first or have a better bracket than me, Jovan, Gootsy, Trent, and the rest of the squads. I'd be surprised if you guys could. Get involved. Okay, maybe that's the motivation you guys need. See if you can get a better bracket going than me, than old Krabs. See if you can get involved. We got the link in the chat as well, I believe. Sure. W commands. If you guys need the bracket link, type in ! brackets, and you'll get the damn link right there. Bada bing, bada boom. W Goots, W Nightbot. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. W Utah Hockey Club last night. That did not get talked about yet.
Sneak.
Jovan, you don't even want to know how many units I had on it.
There's no way you sneak nuke that, Krabs.
Yep.
Didn't you say maybe 2-3 days ago that sneak nukes were retired until Vegas?
I did until I needed one last night, brother.
Unbelievable, man.
On the ice after a 1-4 day. After what UAB and Wisconsin did to me last night, you know what? I got a pass, and I got to send a sneak nuke, and you know what? It hit. And I've got no shame for it. It fucking hit. If you guys don't know what we're talking about or where that play came from, you should have been in the live stream last night going over the Selection Sunday show. Krabs bracket somehow got Kent State cutting down the nets. Anybody want to craft up an NIT bracket? Anybody in the mood to craft up an NIT bracket? Yes, Kent State tomorrow. Getting up and moving. Okay. All right. Let's get to the Sharp Report for today. Guys, do me a favor, though. Please join that bracket group now before you forget. Join it now before you forget. Let's get the link in there one more time in the chat while I go over this first play here, guys. And yes. Yep.
Spring training overs in this economy. This is what we've come to. Slate's that bad.
Yep. Please look at the White Sox spring training games. Pax Picks is saying I almost took the White Sox, but instead I went with a nastier over in spring training. Guys, I watched this over move up from 7.5 to 8 right in front of my eyeballs. Literally right in front of my eyeballs. And this game, I believe, starts up in 2 minutes. So if you want to lock in and get involved, I'm taking the Yurfie. We'll talk about that when we get to the Prize Pick squares here in a second. They have an Eric Fetty and Mackenzie Gore Yurfie square up there, which I thought was kind of weird with the lowest total of the day. And Mackenzie Gore hasn't given up a run the entire spring training. Jovan, wouldn't it be something the day he gets announced as the opening day starter if he gives up a run? Or wouldn't it be something if Eric Fetty, against his former team, who's already pitched against us once this season and had a clean inning, wouldn't it be something if the second time around the Nats get to him and maybe catch the Yurfie? So I'm liking the Yurfie. I'm liking runs in this game. I'm watching the total move up all morning from 7.5 to 8. I'm in. Give me the spring training over. Guys, look at the slate today. We don't have much to work with. Okay, if I got to give you a spring training winner to turn green, then I got to do it. And I'm loving this one on the diamond, getting the juices flowing, Jovan, and over between Eric Fetty, former Nats legend, and the opening day starter for the Nats, Mackenzie Gore. Sure.
And we've got a Yurfie on your Prize Pick squares too, Friendly Krabs. Unbelievable.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. What do you got? Let's swing around to your place.
Start with one that we're both on today, and it's
Let's
CBJ.
fucking go. Okay.
Yeah, off of
Good.
the double shutout. Again, small slate, obvious spot. There's a couple of those in the NHL today. This one actually just has to be done. Not only did they just play the Devils, and they did lose, 2 or 3 games ago, but it's a weird, tempo mismatch because the Devils, now that they're as shorthanded as they are, and they've gotten more shorthanded since the Jack Hughes stuff, they're playing super slow. They've actually been really good defensively, offensively. Haven't really had much. They can't get going early in games. And if you know anything about CBJ, they're the best first period teams when they play better teams just of all time. They start out super fast. And not that I'm saying they're going to do that with a ton of goals here, but the way that the Devils offense has been going lately, partially again because they've been playing super slow, they'll get sped up a little bit by CBJ. And once they figured that out in the second half of the game, the final I don't know, 30 minutes of that game where they lost 5-3 just a week or so ago. They started playing much better. I think they found their footing eventually. Those line combinations that I think are going to get shaken up after 2 straight shutouts. They started to find their footing, so I think they're going to have real success in this game. When the Devils have played like just more unorganized teams, they've been really bad as of late, just like their last game. Like you play a faster team that has like any sort of structure, they've been okay in slowing them down, like when they beat the Oilers. But when they play a team that's just kind of utter chaos and plays more up tempo, more in transition, like the Penguins, they give up 7 goals and they look absolutely awful. So like the CBJ, especially if they mix up the lines tonight, it's probably somewhere in the middle. I think their offense comes out, gets them a win off the double shutout. Has to happen.
I mean, yeah, great fucking sell job. I got nothing really else to add, to be honest with you, on Columbus here. Nasty line back in Columbus Blue Jackets on the ML here on the ice tonight, guys. And Goots, you can swing it around, I guess, for a second here, but I'm not surprised to see the Devils catching steam. I mean, they didn't play much better than Columbus, not only of late, but I feel like this season overall, they're the better squads, and they have beaten Columbus for the last 5 times they played them, including, like you said, a couple days ago, they beat them 5-3. I think Columbus gets their lick back, and very rarely do you get to bet on a team coming off of back-to-back L's, back-to-back shutouts, right? I'm talking about them getting shut out themselves. You don't see that very often. I'm very, very interested in backing the Blue Jackets here. I'd be less interested if the total was lower, but the fact the total's hanging around 6.5 and the juice is actually moving 10 cents towards the over makes me think, after back-to-back goose eggs for Columbus, maybe they get involved in the scoring column here tonight, right?
Yeah.
Good sign for that total being a little bit higher after back-to-back goose eggs. Nuke likes Jackets team total over, or he's asking about it. Yeah, you wouldn't hear any counters from me.
I just think this game is going to be like, obviously we want goals, but it's probably going to be a game of runs. So like maybe it starts off really slow because that's what the Devils have done really a lot over the past handful of games since they haven't been healthy. And then the Jackets finally break through, or CBJ does what they do against a lot of the top teams. They come out super fast in the first period, game stalls for a bit, Devils tie it up, and they get like a late goal CBJ does to win. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be like a constant stream of offense during this game at any point, but I'm hoping if there is from the Jackets, obviously.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Dan's bets. We got a couple more days. We'll have BTL tomorrow as well, but no BTL unfortunately Wednesday through Friday. I will go over my goat whale for MLB after we go over the sharp report here today, guys, and we will craft up the BTL MLB season goat whale on the stream next week when we return. All right, we're going to be fully dialed in, locked into baseball once we return. Excited to craft up a BTL goat whale, and I'm excited to give you guys my season megalodon that I crafted up over the last couple weeks and finally locked in this AM. All right, we'll go over that in a moment. How about a leadoff single for the Cards against Mackenzie Gore? Sure. Okay. Appreciate it. MLB season squares are off of Prize Picks right now. No way.
No, they're up.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that every day in chat for the last 2 weeks, and then I go and look, and they're still there. So,
it's probably not available wherever you are now.
Might not be available in some states. Make sure you double check what state you're in if they have those lines. We got a couple subbies as well coming in, Jovan, while we had the goats on here with Degen Biev. Green Guy 7373 coming in, resubbing for 12 months, 1 year W's in the Big 2-5. Sure. We got Mid-Major coming in, resubbing for a very hefty 33 months. W Mid-Major. Good to see you lurking in here today. We got a Hype Train moving and grooving. We got Oh My Goodness 7 coming in, resubbing as well. Let's keep this going. Thanks for the Prize Picks 4-man to start the weekend, fellas. This is March. Sure.
Let's go.
W's. And like lightning as well, resubbing along with Degen, along with Gurf and John Mulla as well. No way Gootsy somehow got it up and moving. Wow.
3-pitch K from Jordan Walker.
Yeah,
didn't even know he was back up and moving. He's horrible.
I'm putting foot down, and I'm going to go ahead and make the official announcement here. Jordan Walker, not the guy. Jordan Walker, not the guy. I'm out.
Horrid.
I'm
horrid
out.
Player.
I've seen enough. I know he's a great prospect. I know he can, when he barrels it up, he hits the ball a million miles. But I haven't seen it in the major leagues. I've only seen fucking 180p highlights from 5 years ago in the minors, or when this kid was a prospect of him hitting absolute nukes. I've never seen a bigger dude hit the ball less hard than Jordan Walker in the major leagues and rely more on dinky singles. It makes no sense.
No.
He he ain't no James Woods. That's
Herrera,
correct,
though.
Billy the Kid.
Herrera, though. Very
Yeah,
good.
Herrera can hit the ball. All right,
Very good ball
take us to
player.
the Pistons. I'll be honest with you. I was looking at the other sides of this one earlier today, so I'm curious to hear your sell job.
Yeah, I understand why. It's
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it would seem a little short going against the Pelicans. No way
Trent's
he
pretty box.
spawns, dude. No way he
Sure.
spawns in the box, man.
Eesh.
Nice hat, brother. Happy St. Patty's Day, folks, as well. I cannot let that get swept. Perfect day to wear the green Bookit hat. Trent, how was the bar crawl on Saturday? You survive?
We survived. I was pretty
I liked your shirt. I liked your shirt.
It was a good shirt, wasn't it?
Always got a little pod on me. A little leprechaun with a little pod on there. That's the most Trent shirt of all time, bro. Unbelievable.
I saw that online, and I was
Trent.
like, I got to pull trig.
Yeah, you had to cop that. Trent, you wake up today with some cold sweats or something? You going to be okay with the slate today? Not many games. You going to be all
What do
right?
you mean, dude? My favorite thing I've ever seen is 5 NBA games starting at 9 p.m.
Ooh, that is your favorite thing. I forgot.
Play no out.
No way we got in play no out here. Can we get a Yurfie going against Mackenzie Gore, Trent? I don't know if you. Okay. First and second, though. How are we not getting a third on that, Victor Scott?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, Trent. Mackenzie Gore named opening day starter. Has yet to give up a run in the spring. I had to get involved with the Yurfie. We'll see how it plays out here. First and second, 1 out.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a Yurfie and first play on
And an
Krabs
over.
Jovan is a spring training over.
I saw that. What the fuck?
Yeah, and an over. Hey, you got to diversify the portfolio when you don't have many college basketball games to bet on. That's why I'm out of sync today. I'm used to the CBB action, right? No CBB today. I feel like I'm naked looking at the slate.
I mean, 10 NBA games doesn't cut it.
Not for me. I get it, though. That's plenty for most.
It doesn't.
You know, I'm not an NBA guy. No, not until the postseason. Postseason NBA, that'll tickle some gem. That will. Just not today. Thoughts on the Wizards coming off of back-to-back outright wins against two solid teams in Detroit and Denver. Any thoughts on the Wiz Kids today getting 6 points on the road to Portland?
Could be a good fade spot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Laying the 6, at least for an ML piece. Portland, probably not losing that game. They were on a crazy losing streak as well, and they finally got a win in their last game, so maybe they build on that momentum. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Maybe it's a Portland ML piece. Or the Wizards just the best team in the NBA? They're not winning 3 in a row on the road.
Did the Jazz end up winning that game? They were favored.
No, I don't think
No, they did
didn't.
not. Nope.
No, they also
That's
Raps.
prime example of no reason to bet on Wizards Blazers. There's no reason.
I mean,
no need.
Well,
The Blazers are not the Wizards, Jazz, or Raptors. There's a pretty big distinction between them.
the Jazz are actually the worst team in the NBA now. Can we clap it up for the Wizards? After those 2 wins, they are now the second worst team in the NBA. Let's go, Wizards.
Yeah.
Sure. There's
No
been a
way we're
passing of the
clapping for
torch.
that. There's just
Yeah,
no
they're-
way.
They're also playing significantly better. It's night and day.
No,
So
they are.
that honestly probably does deserve a clap. Although the basement was, the floor was the basement, right? It could not have been worse. All right. We got ball in play out. Oh, fuck.
Oh, let's hope you don't roll those, Krabs.
No.
No DP, no DP, no DP for slow ass Gorman. Come on. Can we stay alive in the top of the first here, chat, please? Doesn't this make you guys miss baseball? It makes me excited for the season.
You waking up
Dude.
at 5 a.m., Trent?
I was just
Show
about
me the
to say.
money. Come on.
First
All
and
right,
third
we're
for
live.
Luke.
We're
There you go.
live.
TCU legend Luke and Baker.
All right. Luke
Oh,
and Baker, now's
TCU
your time, my man. Come on.
Come on, Baker.
Kenzie Gore, his first adversity of the spring. Again, 0 runs so far this spring. Got named the opening day starter. Good for Mackenzie Gore. Locking in this year. Looking great so far.
I was in history of rock and roll with this guy, Krabs.
With Luke and Baker at TCU's.
Yeah.
One of your BS electives, get some credits. Sure.
Yep.
Good.
Go to elective.
Okay.
W elective.
Was that the
Yep.
best class at TCU, the best elective?
Dude, every
Easiest, I
athlete,
guess.
every
Yeah.
athlete that's come out of TCU has taken history of rock to Bach.
Sure.
Rock the Bach and Survey of Theater are in the hall.
Okay. Jovan, were you up there on the theater?
I was not up there on the theater. I was down there taking notes, Krabs.
Sure. Good man. You better been in the front row. Were you a front row guy?
Absolutely not. No.
Hell no.
Even if
you
I
were a
wanted,
front row guy.
even if I wanted to, for like actual paying attention wise, I would sit in the back out of courtesy because I am
Wow.
so much bigger than everybody else.
It's a good point. You don't want to be a me guy.
Yeah, I'm
Take
not
up
a,
too
not
much
a
space.
not a window. Not a window.
All right, hold on. Fuck.
Wow.
No
Probably
shit.
Probably a
We also
fucking
might-
home run rob.
Not a better time for this than tonight, Trent.
Tonight,
Keep it moving.
tonight I have to leave to go on Stephen A. Smith's show right now. But tonight
Hey.
Tonight.
we're doing special edition silly games with Rav. And would also be down to play some show potential.
Yeah.
To rip.
You should come play
Come
some silly games.
We got Krabs up and active. I'll come over there.
Wow.
Krabs.
Yeah,
is up
let me
and
know if
active
you wanna
other
play the
night, dropping
show.
nukes.
I'll be ready. I was talking with Nick earlier. Let me know if you're trying to fire that puppy up. I'm ready to roll. I got my Diamond Dynasty team all ready.
Wow.
Ready to attack. I need to buy some more stubs, though, Jovan. I haven't bought any stubs yet.
Why?
buy
So you
some
can spend
stubs.
them on dog shit packs again?
I saw a guy who streams MLB The Show for, I think, like his actual job, one of the main streamers. He had a hilarious clip on his feed this morning of him pulling these same Jose Altuve cards 6 times in a row. He's like, oh, good thing I spent $600 on packs the other day. Look at what I got. 6 Jose Altuve cards, 85 overall, barely a diamond. I was like, God, I'd be so pissed. And that's MLB The Show for you. All right, let's lock in here. Trent, go talk to Stephen A. W's. And W Night Sweats tonight, chat. Stick around. We got a big day today before we head to Vegas. A lot of work to do. Okay. Jovan, did you go over the Pistons here enough? Do you feel comfortable with your sell job?
I didn't really say too much, but
Okay.
I can see why you might want the Pelicans. But, Zion's been back for a little bit, and he's been playing lights out, Krabs.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of, I guess, the Pelicans. I don't want to say, like, resurgence because it's not like they've come back and they've been winning too many games, but they've looked a lot more respectable in doing so. They're a lot more healthy than they've been for a while now. So they've been a decent watch comparatively, but I think the Pistons are just going to shred that defense tonight. I love taking teams that are coming off of tough defensive battles, especially when you go from playing one of the best teams in the league, in this case, the best team in the league, and drop down to, playing a team as lowly as the Pelicans, even though, again, they're healthier, they're playing better, but I really don't care. This defense, especially with your guy BC potentially out, they just have nothing at the rim to stop anything that Jalen Duren is going to do, anything that, Tobias Harris maybe even can do physicality-wise. He's in a good spot to shoot tonight, but Cade is going to have a field day facilitating against this defense. I just don't think they can keep up.
That could be the dagger. Jovan, no Messi down low for the Pelicans. I don't give a shit if Zion's playing or not. No Messi.
Potentially.
No fucking chance.
Potentially.
I know. Yeah.
Who knows? Especially with the Pelicans, they're one of those teams you never really know who's going to end up playing, but he's a little banged up. We'll see. But even with them, they got nothing. And yes, Cade got tossed. That was hilarious.
In that last game.
Yeah, right.
Well, I certainly don't want to fade the star player getting tossed in his last game. So, okay. Back in the Pistons, laying a big old number, but they probably should be because there's probably some goats on the Pelicans to be ruled out here. And if they do, you don't care. That's part of this cap as well, right?
Yeah, I really don't care because I really just want to back the Pistons and Cade coming off an ejection, coming off a lower scoring, tough game against OKC, where, they were assumingly sharp. There was a short line in that game. Even Trent said it was a scheduled loss. He came in the space and said that, and nothing. So now you get to play the Pelicans. That Mushit defense, count me in.
Okay.
And, yeah,
All right.
the Pistons coach post-game, he was bitching, dude. Bitching about SGA getting horseshit foul calls.
Okay. Maybe it is the Pistons in the NBA tonight. Still the Pistons laying 7.5 points on the roads. Although they've been much better this year. This ain't your mom and pa's Pistons. Still a decent spot to back them after a brutal game in that last one. And they're not playing their best ball right now. So if you're going to back the Pistons, why not tonight?
Sure.
Gucci, swing it around for me, will you? I got one more straight bet here for the peeps, and it's the Sabres. I don't think I've ever hit a bet on the Sabres. But I'm going to try again tonight. Okay? Most would give up. Most would quit. Most would make excuses. I'm not going to. I have been a shit Sabres better. I have. I got to be better. I got to give you guys a winner tonight, betting this team. Oh, look at that. They're actually up to minus 115 right now. W's. They were minus 110 most places this morning. I love seeing them now as a favorite on the road. Jovan, especially considering how fucking abysmal the Sabres team is on the road this season. 3-6 in their last 9 games on the ML, 9-19 on the season on the ML on the roads. Why are the Sabres favorites in this spot? And look, I know the fucking Bruins aren't, great. It's not the weirdest thing ever seeing these two teams at pretty much a pick 'em line here. But the Bruins are home. They're 500 at least. The Sabres are sub 500. The Sabres don't respect any coins. Nobody ever wants to bet on that team anymore, I feel like. But seeing them catch all this steam on the road looks very weird to me. Maybe the weirdest looking hockey play on the slate. Very curious on your thoughts, Jovan, with the line move. Buffalo opened up plus 115. Now we're seeing them at minus 115 on the road against the Bruins.
I don't hate it. I feel a little weird about going back to it because I got involved in the same game when they played a little over a month ago and Sabres beat the hell out of them. So, I don't know if I have the stones to go back and say they do it again, especially when this is a significantly more dead Bruins team, but I get the sentiment 100%. I do think the Bruins traded everybody, then they had 2 wins against the Bolts and Panthers, and then they've kind of been dead ever since. It might be the start of a big-time slide. So that part, I don't hate of it at all.
Jovan, you never want to see this in the chat.
Horrible.
You never want to have to read that and then come to the realization that it all comes down to Josh Bell doing job for you to make coins. We got the Juice coming in, resubbing for 35 months. Can we put some respect on the Juice in the chat? He's a fucking goat. He's an OG. He's been here forever. All right. Corpusalo confirmed. That's why the Sabres are faves. And I know the Sabres did beat up the Bruins pretty good the last time they played them, sure. But still feel like that line is kind of weird. Not going to lie to you. When are goat wheels dropping? I just joined Reef Trees. I'm going to drop mine right after we go over the Sharp Report. We'll go over this puppy. Okay. Shout out CJ Abrams as well. It seems like he's done a great job so far this spring. He showed up early. He gained some weight. He's in good shape. He didn't gain bad weight. He gained muscle weight. He's looking pretty good this season after all that bullshit that happened at the end of the year last year. I know we haven't talked about it in a while, Jovan. The gambling shit, the second half slump after making an all-star game. Look, I'll say it. I'll call it how it is. He got fat, happy, and complacent after a great first half. The team wasn't making the playoffs probably, right? And he didn't really do yop in that second half, had an abysmal second half. Looks like we got in-play outs, and that'll do it, folks.
GD Nerfy free.
Have we seen more base runners or more action in recent history? And a Nerfy hit. We had first and third in the top of the first, and we had a leadoff double in the bottom of the first, and no Yerfy. That's moose shit.
Jeez.
That's moose shit.
It was a leadoff single, and then he got the second off of ground out. So, but yeah, still.
Thanks,
GG.
kids.
Yep.
Jeez.
Appreciate that clarification, kids. Jovan, can we go over the Wild? Can you tell me why it's the Wild tonight on the ML?
Yeah, this one's gross. I assume we're going to get Darcy Kemper in that. All the reports kind of lean that way for the Kings. Darcy Kemper, your guy, former Cap legend.
Sure.
He's off of back-to-back shutouts. This Kings team overall is playing really well right now. They've won 5 in a row, playing fantastic defensive hockey, especially minus the one game of VGK. That was an actual high-scoring game, but 4 of those 5 have been at home, and we know just how good the Kings are at home. Now they go on the road against a Wild team that is playing god-awful hockey right now. They're not healthy. They've been bleeding. They got booed off their own home ice after getting porked by the Blues in their last game. So I want to get involved in this one, Krabs. This is definitely a corpse going against a well-oiled machine in this one. This feels like a spot where the Wild get it done. I would assume, just like the Blue Jackets coming off of back-to-back shutouts, they're going to have some line mix-up today, which I love. You need some different blood in there, some new combinations to work against a really good Kings defense, and I think they do it tonight. I have to fade the Darcy Kemper Linsanity run. Again, I assume it's going to be him. I don't believe he's confirmed yet, but he's probably pretty close to it, even if he's not. This Kings team just playing fantastic as of late, coming off that 4-game homestand where they're fantastic, or 4 of the last 5. Now you go on the road. They're a little more prone. They haven't been as good defensively. Not going to be protecting Kemper as much, even though you're playing a Wild team that hasn't done much offensively. This is where they get in. This is where they get aggressive. put the pressure on, win the game.
I think if you take Minnesota on the ML and you take Columbus on the ML, you're probably going 1-1 at worst.
Probably, yeah.
Points, right? Not a terrible idea on the ice tonight, Chad. If you're looking for a way to make some money on the ice, play a little safer. I know I fucking hate saying that, but if you want a little bit more of
safe's
a
not the word, but that's your
you want more of a
approach.
game plan on the ice. If you're looking for a game plan on the ice tonight, no such thing as a safe bet. You're right. You bet those plays on the ML. You could even go half unit. If you're not loving the plus chicken plays on the ice, half unit each, you're probably making some coins and going 1-1, if not 2-0, hopefully. Knock on wood. Okay. Big Cheesy, you guys doing a bracket preview at all? We're going to do a big bracket preview tomorrow on BTL here. Go over some of our thoughts there, more official plays before we head to Vegas early Wednesday. But today, let's finish up the Sharp Report. I'll go over my GOAT Whale and MLB, and then we'll take some questions, see if we can help you guys out with some winners on the slate. But, let's keep powering through here. Wild play late night, Jovan. Well, 8 p.m., the latest hockey game of the night tonight. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too late.
Chat, I apologize for the first inning Yerfy. That was a shit play. I'm not going to make excuses. Most would. I'm not. That was a terrible play. I apologize. But
the bottom play is where you make it up. You get it all back.
Make the coins back, folks, by taking a 3-piece with the Shohei square and the 2 squares that Jovan's going to pitch you here in a moment, folks. You're telling me, God, we're so back, Jovan. It feels so good. You're telling me Shohei Ohtani's had a TB square up for 2 weeks. They put these squares up for this game legitimately a week and a half ago. They made sure they showed up to the office extra early 10 days ago to put these squares up for this 6 a.m. game that nobody's even going to watch. You're just going to take more thens, wake up, and lose coins, folks. Well, I'm not. That's not acceptable for me, Jovan. That is not an okay outcome. Not on opening day. We're making coins on opening day. We're making coins when it matters, and we're fading Shohei in a game that has a lower total than I expected in what people are calling Yankee Stadium 2.0, what people are calling Mickey Mouse Ballpark, right? If it was a Mickey Mouse Ballpark, that total wouldn't be at 7.5. Give me a break. I know we got some solid arms up there on the bump. Even more reason to take the less than on Shohei. Guys, the Dodgers just lost to a fucking Japanese national team the other day. Okay, it's baseball. Anything can happen any given night. I'm not fading Shohei for the season long. Okay, even I'm not that naive. But I certainly will fade him on an opening day. And when I'm sitting here tomorrow, count my guap, getting BTL started up, I hope you guys have gotten involved. I hope you tailed. Maybe you take a 3-piece with Jovan's 2 squares here. But Shohei ain't getting 2 base hits. He ain't getting a double. If he does anything, he's getting a dinky single on opening day. Jovan, I got to pay to find out. He ain't cashing. The most popular square for MLB on opening day, it ain't turning green. And I'm willing to pay to find out.
It's vintage. Absolutely vintage. We need some. We need Krabs 5 a.m. sweats, man. Shohei's under.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about a 5 a.m. sweat, but how about a square that turns green, chat?
It's filthy.
How about it?
It's filthy.
There it is. See ya.
You got some filthiness from Krabs, I guess. I've got a couple squares, so balances out.
Okay. What do you got?
Taking 2 of the floor generals to dish across these teams or against these teams. Start with Luka. I think this is another, just like I took it against the Nets, another triple-double spot for him. Hot take, because Luka Doncic is playing amazing ball, but as of late, he's been super aggressive on the scoring side of things. Now he gets to play the Spurs. As of really since the Wemby trade, the Spurs have been an abysmal 3-point defense. They've been one of the fastest teams in the league. They've been a horrible transition defense. This is all stuff for Luka to facilitate, and more than I guess they had with Wemby before, because with Wemby, they could just play a semi-conservative drop, or they would switch and bring him up top and hedge a little bit. But now they're a little more aggressive blitzing at times, not for the majority of the game, not as much as the Nets, but they will do it. And that's one of the reasons why they have been so abysmal guarding the 3. So this is a spot. I hope Paz and Korn for DFS. I hope Gabe Vincent's ready to strap him up. Austin Reeves, get ready to shoot, brother. Anybody who's available for the Lakers tonight is going to have a plethora of 3-point shots. So when that happens, when the matchup's there, I'm going to bet that it's going to be from Luka Doncic again, which I don't think he's hit his assist, funny enough, since that Nets game. So maybe I picked my spots well. We'll figure it out. But today I think he's getting double-digit assists. And then Cade, similar reason, a really bad defense, but I don't think as much as Luka, I think is going to get a lot more of them from the three-point line against the Spurs, just because that matchup calls for it. For the Pistons tonight against the Pelicans. The Pelicans allow a lot of catch and shoot. I think they have the highest rate allowed in the league, but they're also just abysmal in the RA too. So like Jalen Duren, I think can get a couple from him. I think Cade is going to, like I said, have a field day facilitating against this team, because that's what they allow you to do. You're going to play a fast, more up-tempo game, especially coming off of not only a dejection, but you're coming off of a game in the half court. That's a significantly tougher matchup for you in OKC. Now the floor is more open. Now you get space. Now you get everybody. Malik Beasley, get ready to shoot in corn. Jalen Duren, get ready to not get in foul trouble and be aggressive, because you're going to be getting passed from Pork.
Dude, who the fuck is who is Degen Beavers, man?
I mean, good.
What do you mean he's Degen Beavers?
Good.
He's an O's prospect. He's next up. He's a good ball player.
How did I just take Goots off the screen and I still heard his voice? Has he hacked the mainframe? How did he do that? Anybody know?
We're going to talk about how Goots tagged me in a sacrifice bunt or a bunt for a hit from Jackson Holiday.
You gotta like players who take what defense give them. Come on.
Goots, did you hack the mainframe?
No.
How are you up here when I kicked you off and I could still hear your beautiful voice?
Right back up.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, Goots, remember, we can't be celebrating prospects getting singles, and we definitely can't be jumping at the chat.
I can celebrate prospects getting singles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't be celebrating bunts, man. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I like players who get on base. He got on base.
It was a full swing bunt. It wasn't even an intentional bunt. It was just a shitty swing that he beat out.
Just unreal.
Moneyball Goots. All about the OBP. Yep. Goots could have filled in and played that fucking Jonah Hill role, and he probably could have done a better job in that movie. I'm pretty sure that's Goots' favorite movie of all time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gootsy.
Yes.
Isn't that not your favorite movie, Moneyball?
Always be. Yeah, favorite movie.
You could probably quote Jonah the entire movie.
Yeah, good amount.
Movie, dude.
Oh, good.
The scene when Brad Pitt goes to his office. Okay. Goots.
Dude,
No.
I'm so done with Goots, dude.
Unbelievable.
There's just
My favorite scene of Moneyball is when that dude is making all the decisions in the meeting and Brad Pitt figures it out. So he goes to his little cubicle afterwards and he goes, "Who the fuck are you? Who are you?" And Jonah Hill's looking there like so scared and nervous. He's talking to another GM. His eyes are so bright. He's like, "Oh, I don't know. My name's right here." He goes, No. Who are you? Why are they listening to you? It's like, oh, because he's smart and he tries. Right? That movie's so fucking good. And we are so close to baseball, folks. And yeah, who do you think you are? I am. W. Fitz.
Speaking of close to baseball, Krabs, rumors are saying your goat whale's locked in.
Yes, it is. Here you go, Goots.
Because
This
he
is a
gets
great
on
scene.
base.
Yep. Because he gets on base. I love this scene as well because it exposed all the old fart scouts who didn't put in any effort and they just got fat, happy, complacent, and they went, did things their way that they've done for 70 years, didn't try to innovate, didn't try to get better. And that's, you don't get any better doing that. So that movie did a very good job of depicting that, I feel like, in these meeting scenes. Not better than watching the Hample doc. Guys, let's not act like that wasn't the worst fucking piece of film we've ever witnessed. Guys, I've taken a cinematic art class in high school. I have a pretty good feeling for a cinematic masterpiece or not. Right? I've seen Nosferatu, the old one, the black and white one. I got a pretty good feeling for what's a masterpiece or not. And that certainly wasn't.
People forget.
Maybe worst movie of the year. Yeah.
Paid for it.
Paid for it. Spent hard-earned coin.
We paid for it.
Yep. Wow. That's one guy that I have not missed during the baseball offseason is Zach Hample. Who, by the way, if you guys want another reason to hate him, he's just a rich dude who spends his parents' money and has never actually had a real job. He just goes around and catches baseballs and, steals them from little kids. Unbelievable. Jovan, I know my shitty Yerfy square already already played out and lost, great. But if chat wants to get involved and tail this 3-piece with the rest of the squares that we haven't that have not started yet, I will drop the link to this in the chat. Okay, Luka Doncic, more than assists. Cade Cunningham, more than assists. And Shohei Ohtani, less than TBs.
Hilarious 3-piece.
That is a 3-piece, if I've ever seen one. And now my mouse isn't working. It's really annoying. Here we go. All right, chat, I'll drop the link to this right now. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Tail that puppy. There's the link in the chat. Krabs peep the only NHL goals allowed square up.
They did put one up there for you, Krabs.
Oh, did they? It's against the Sabres. I feel like I'm about to open up a pack right now when I check out this chart. Okay.
It's not a weird chart. It's just
fuck.
Not that weird.
Well, it's not weird.
It's not
weird. It's not
the last bar too doesn't count because he came in after the other goalie got pulled. So that last one, I feel like the last
weird then.
Yeah, the last one is what makes it weird, and that one is not a real bar.
Okay.
Pega really wants you to look at Mikey's bracket, Krabs.
Pega, we were not going to do that right now. We don't have time, but you're a fucking beast.
We can loop that in tomorrow. I want to hear.
Pega, you're good at Pega. Pega, you're good at. We probably should do it, but we don't have time. You're a fucking beast, though. We got Mid-Major coming in resub, and I already shouted him out, I believe, along with the Juice and Slugger269 coming in here with the sub bang a minute ago. Let's go, Slugger. Atta boy. Pega, I want to know who's your natty champ. If you've already made a bracket, let me know in the chat. Who is your natty champ, Pega? All right. Is it about that time? I feel like chat doesn't even want to see it.
I don't know.
I don't even think they want it.
Not too much goosage, man.
Yeah, I don't think they want it. I'll be honest. I'm going to tail a mix of you guys. Smart, Pega. Smart. I'll be honest. I don't really think chat wants to go well. They weren't too excited when I tweeted about it last week. They weren't too excited when I tweeted about it this morning. Not a ton of engagements. Not a ton of chats. Now they're starting to come in. Here we go. Guys, do you even want to see the go well? I mean, I put probably 10, 15 hours into narrowing this down and locking it in. Do you guys even want to tail it? I don't know if they do, man. I don't know.
Bro, no.
Do you think they deserve it, Goots? I'll leave it up to you, man. Tiebreaker. I don't think they do. Jovan probably give it to him as a handout to be nice. We'll let Goots be the tiebreaker here. You think they deserve it, man?
I don't know. Rumors are also saying that the Get Well might be starting up tonight.
Tomorrow.
Rumors are swirling, yeah.
Tomorrow.
They're swirling.
I'm going to give it to them. I'm just fucking around.
You give it to
I'm
them?
just trying to get them involved in chat. Try to wake them up a little bit here. All right, why don't we show them? Gootsy? Why don't we show them the Megalodon? Why don't we zoom in a little bit on that top left sector, if you don't mind? It starts out where it always starts out, folks. No need to reinvent the wheel here. Aaron Judge, less than 49.5 home runs. Surely. Let me go ahead and repeat that for the people in the back. Surely Aaron Judge is hitting 50 home runs again when he's plus chicken to do it on the books. Surely.
Sure.
Well, I'm not going to be rooting for it, Jovan, but he's had problems with injuries in the past, and he's coming off a couple really good, relatively healthy seasons. With no Juan Soto to back him up, might be a little tougher for Aaron Judge to stay healthy and hit 50-plus nukes. If he was going to do it again, chat, do you think he'd be a plus chicken, the first name you see when you go to the books and search 50-plus home runs? Probably not. Because if you did, then when you landed in Vegas, the buildings and casinos would not look nearly as cool as they do. Okay, I'm right, you're wrong. We move on to Emmanuel Clase. 35.5 saves, folks. Who is this year's Daniel Baird? I'll be honest with you. This one took a while. This one took some back and forths. This one took a gut check. And by the way, guys, who has the nuts to lock this in, stand all business, come up here, look you in the eyes and mean it and say this? Nobody else out of the 8 billion besides me. So if there's a lot of stuff you could say about me, there's one thing I am, and it's that I'm authentic. I'm coming up here and I'm giving you my best. Okay, and that's today, right now. And that's fading Emmanuel Clase, the best closer in the game right now, Jovan, coming off of a legacy season. Remind me what his ERA was last year. I think we talked about it a couple days ago. You remember? Or at least what it was, like under, a rough guesstimate here. We talked about it.
0.61.
Yep, sub-1 ERA last year. Maybe the greatest season since Mariano Rivera from a reliever. Emmanuel Clase is paid. What does he have to get up for this season after the best season he will ever have in his career, Jovan? I'll tell you what, in a season where I'm down on the Guardians, in a season where their win total's a little bit lower, I'm not super high on this team. And by the way, guys, you need to win games to get saves. 2 + 2 = 4. If I'm not loving the Guardians, I'm probably not loving Clase's more than saves. If anything, I'm loving the less than saves. And Emmanuel Clase soared over this number the last 2 years with ease, Jovan. Why is this number so low? I have not been able to sleep looking at this square for the last 2 weeks. Why is Clase at 35.5? Why is he not at 40.5? Why is he not higher than that? I'll tell you why. Because he's this year's Daniel Baird, and he's either going to get fat, happy, and complacent and struggle. By the way, go look at his ERA in the spring. It's at 12. He can't throw a strike. Just like in the postseason last year, the definition of fat, happy, and complacent, Emmanuel Clase in the Big 2-5. You guys are about to see it. I was so close to putting in David Bednar. Excuse me. It was between David Bednar and Emmanuel Clase. I'm trusting my gut, and I'm fading the best closer in baseball after the best season we've seen from a closer since Mariano Rivera, and it's turning green. Yeah. Now we move on to the third play. Ozuna from the Braves. Jovan, I'll be honest, this is my least confident square out of the bunch, but I don't want that to scare people off here. I'm extremely confident in all these plays, and I got a couple others that I love as well that we'll talk about when we craft up the BTL Go Well. Marcell Ozuna was the last infinity stone to go in this lineup. Okay, but it's a less than. It's fading a guy coming off a career season, and I couldn't help but think it was a little fucking weird to see this number this low after a career year and to see it at plus chicken for him to get 150 plus hits after a great fucking season. I don't think the Braves offense will be as good this season. They don't have as many great hitters hitting behind him this year. Why even pitch to Ozuna this season? Pitch around him. And they've already been dealing with some injuries in the spring. Who knows? Not rooting for an injury for Ozuna, but after a healthy, great season from the guy who, let's not forget, kind of a POS for getting DUIs and not being the best person, wouldn't be shocked if his downfall comes in the Big 2-5 and we see him go less than his 149.5 hits allowed when the Braves offense takes a step back and Ozuna from the Braves takes a step back. Okay?
Ozuna from the Wizards, man.
Now we get 2 fun squares. Okay, now is when the real party starts. Kyle Tucker. Kyle tucked me in on his new team, Jovan. You mentioned it. Yep. We've got a square starting up here at 6 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So if you guys want to tail the goat whale, you might want to lock it in tonight, or it's going to be a 4-man. Jovan, I am obsessed. This is my favorite square in the lineup, more than James Woods, with Kyle Tucker more than 19.5 steals. Okay? Kyle Tucker, by the way, when he's healthy and plays, he's sneakily pretty fast. And I have a feeling he's going to try to be out there this season, proving to people he's not as old as people have been making it seem when the Astros let him go, right? Guys like that typically trying to prove that they're still young, still good on their new team, right, in the new uni. And I think Kyle Tucker does exactly that this season. And it doesn't hurt that the Cubs were top 5 in stolen bases last year, and they got the Brewers base coach. They got rid of Napoli at first. They got rid of their third base coach as well. They brought in the Brewers third base coach. Jovan, the Brewers were second in steals last year. They love to run. They love to run. I think you're only going to see more steal attempts from the Cubs this season. And Kyle Tucker, a guy who you might not expect to get 20 steals, a guy who's sneakily done it a lot in his career, I think in a prove-it year when he's trying to prove to the entire world that he is still that guy and that the Astros fucked up, he's going to do it on the base paths and prove that he's still young, still hip, and can still run and get 20 backs. He's doing it for the Cubbies in a great spot.
Sure.
And then James Wood. Do I even need to sell it? I think he's 30. You guys are about to learn a lot about Mr. James Wood, who is the next Bryce Harper, the next Juan Soto, a.k.a. the next Nat Star, who takes over the league by storm. If you don't know James Wood, you certainly will in the coming weeks, folks. He's got 4 nukes in the spring. They're all opposite fields. Remind you of anybody? Any former Nats who hit the shit out of the ball the opposite way when they were young in their career, and then they turned out they ended up pulling the ball and elevating the ball a little bit more as their career went on. Cough, cough, Bryce Harper, cough, cough, Juan Soto. Yep. Reminds me a lot of those 2 guys taking the same path. And I think he takes the same step up, Jovan, in year 2. He elevates the baseball. He's already doing it more in the spring. You guys are about to learn about James Wood. This is a shit number. 19.5. I'll say it. Bad line. He's getting 30.
Yeah, feels right. We got a Nat and a Judge fade and a Krabs go well.
I'm
This feels
so hyped.
right. And it's not a forced one like Corbin. It's the difference.
Total Slayer, my memory's slipping me right now. Remind me the last time the Yankees won the World Series. Because the Nats won it back in 2019, not that long ago. I don't know if the Yankees have won one in 15 years, Total Slayer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, wait, I'm not, because they stink. Hey, at least they can get beards this season. That should help, right? That should make people a lot happier. They're not going to win games, but at least the players can grow out their facial hair. What a joke. Fade and Judge again. Has to be done. And I'll meet you guys at the cash counter. Who wants the link?
I need that link, Krabs.
Who wants the link?
What a
Need that
stupid
Who has more?
question.
Yeah, Zob Betts. Good call, brother. The Yankees, who were the first ever team, and they used to play against legitimate milk delivery men as their opponents for the first 50 years of their existence. Literally, the guy dropping off the milk in the newspaper in the morning was their opponent on the bump they were facing against, throwing 75 miles an hour that night, smoking a cigarette mid-game. Give me a break. Congratulations on all those World Series that literally happened before you were even born. Right?
Unbelievable.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yep. Guys, I power played this because it's going 4 for 4. 5 for 5, excuse me.
You power played it.
I power played it. No need to flex it. I power played it. It's going 5 for 5. 1,000 to win 20K.
I love
to
when
win
you're
20K.
standing on business like this.
Yep. And I'll meet you guys at the cash counter. Here's a link if you want to tail. Get involved. If you want to tail the Krabs season-long Meg, here's a link right here. Get involved. This is going to be a very fun season-long sweat. Look, Jovan's the guy who actually did it. So please make sure you tail his lineup as well. And tail the BTL one we're going to craft up next week when we get back. But I don't want to let it get swept. I'm pretty good with these MLB season reads, and I am starving to cash a season-long lineup. Jovan, I've been close in the past. I think this year could be the year. Feeling good about it.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
5 guys.
I'm glad we actually have wild overlap, not in squares, but in DC at the least. We will both be going to Nats Park for the Go Whale, which is awesome.
I cannot wait to see and hear that square. I cannot fucking wait. I can't believe it. Going to Nats Park for the Goat Well. You know, that's where dreams are made of. So it makes sense.
Yeah, we'll both go to Nats Park, but God forbid we go to Camden. You know, that's just why the fuck would we do it?
Goose, I wanted to go to Camden, dude. They don't have what we want, man, or what I wanted.
I mean, he's playing catch tomorrow, so
can't do it. I wasn't even talking about that one. That one actually had
Adley, bro. What about Adley?
Yeah,
well, yeah.
That one
yeah.
had some.
What about
That one had
Adley?
some goosage. Yeah, I asked about getting that up there, and they put the other square that I'm putting in the Go Whale up for that. So,
Well, Goots, maybe we could sell him on some Adley love, right?
There's
In
still-
the BTL Goat Well.
there's 3. I think for me, 3 final squares as of right now. I'm open to conversations, which is why I haven't locked it in on the other 2, which we can talk about. But
Okay. Krabs. Yeah, Pega, I'm hip. Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't say his name earlier when Adams Got Wales was talking about him in the beginning of the stream. Didn't get a good vibe today for our guy Wallner. Didn't get a good vibe. Already toast. Already got 2 Ks. My whale is crafted Jeffrey. Okay.
Gunner,
Sure.
Adley, Gray Rod.
No.
It's gonna be all Orioles players and like Brent Rooker.
There is one Oriole player in it. One.
Damn, that's it?
That's it. You've
Wow.
seen
Pretty
it.
soft, Goots. I was expecting more from you.
I mean, there's a former Oriole in it, but you know,
Oh, there we go.
Okay. How
There
many?
we go.
How many?
one.
All right. Okay. Awesome, chat. Well, I'm excited to see Jovan's Goat Whale. And like I said before, we will craft up the BTL Goat Whale when we get back next week from Vegas. Okay. Good. See, if you don't mind, scroll up a hair so that people can see that Aaron Judge less than just one more time. Thank you.
Just put
Perfect.
eyes on it.
Perfect. Yeah, that Class A square, we're going to find out within the first couple weeks, I feel like, if that's a new shit square or not, right? With the Guardians, how they come out of the gates, with how he comes out of the gates. It's got a 12 ERA right now in the spring.
I feel like that might be a prime Krabs square.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
got good vibes on that.
Okay. All right. I was really, really swaying between that and David Bednar on the Pirates, who's also been terrible in the spring and he's not been officially named the closer over there, but he probably will be until he fucks it up. Also a good looking square. And hey, we can keep some of these backups for the BTO go. Well, I got the note sheet still up and moving. We'll talk about it. We might need some of those squares.
I've got a pretty big pool of some squares, Krabs.
Good. That'll be a fun BTL.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun BTL. All right, chat. W show today. We did a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. We had some guests on. Degen Biev coming on, talking about their matchup on Friday. We went over the Sharp reports. We went over the Krabs MLB SZN Meg, right? We did some prize pick squares. We sweat out an MLB Yerfie that somehow found a way to lose. I don't really know how, but we did. We sweat that puppy out. Jovan, we got one more thing to accomplish today, and that's cash a goddamn squad rides on the slate that we got today. Maybe we spend an extra minute or two on it and fire this puppy up now.
Sure.
I'm in. Gucci, do me a favor. Run that shit. I want to see that damn train. Don't want to rush today, right? Want to make sure we got plenty of time, not forcing shit. With the amount of games we got on today and no CBB, like I said earlier, I feel kind of naked on the slate today. I don't feel right with no CBB. It's been a while since I haven't had a college basketball wager, Jovan. We're going to have to pivot, go somewhere else today. Maybe it's the ice. You want to start there? We got a couple good reads.
It is the ice, yeah.
A couple good reads on the ice. Would probably prefer that than the NBA, but we'll get there in a second and talk about those as well. Got to put the Blue Jackets in this puppy.
Of course.
I'm certainly down to put the Wild in here if you are and stick with that game plan we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wild ML. And again, chat, those are 2+ chicken plays. Okay. Let's not fear the plus sign now.
Cubs ML.
That's perfectly clear. I do have to fear the plus sign. Cubs ML. What? A breakfast play in this first MLB game?
No, we're not taking the Cubs, man. We'll leave that.
We could take the under.
Yeah. It's a lot of good news. I don't know if I can do it.
Okay. With no Mookie
aces
as well?
Yeah, 2 aces and no Mookie.
Okay.
Probably the under. I just can't.
What if it's Cubs plus 1.5?
I mean, are we really going to die on that hill already? If you want to, then fine. But
all right, why don't we take a trip to the NBA first before we start reaching?
yeah.
I also like the Sabres, but that square, I wouldn't say that goals allowed square made me feel any sort of anything towards the more than or less than for it. So I wouldn't say I'm in love with it.
Fading the Bruins on St. Patty's Day, too.
Yeah. Well, now I kind of want to do it. Shit. Jovan, you want to put the fucking Blue Jackets in here? Or sorry, the Sabres in here?
I mean, I could live without the Sabres, personally.
Okay.
But if you're very
why don't we leave the
I won't tell you
Sabres
now.
and why don't we leave the Sabres and Pistons out and see if we like anything in the NBA?
Sure. Any honorable squares for Tokyo? I think you back Kyle Tuckman for Krabs tonight.
Wow. Maybe he gets his first steal of the season. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. Hit run
Come on, Kyle
RBI,
Tucker.
Stingle steal, and whoever hits behind him, nuke piece.
Rising said it's already CBJ. Let's move. We still have 5 minutes here, Rising. Want to make sure we don't rush, don't force, and make sure we put ourselves in the best spot possible so that we can make some coins tonight and cash another squad ride. I like the Kings in the NBA, but again, it's fading bad news. It's fading John Morant not being in that game tonight. I don't even know if he's missed. This might be his first game missed, or at most it's his second game missed, Jovan. So not really in a rush to fade that bad news, but I certainly thought it was weird. And with all the turmoil going on with the Kings, all the tweets I'm seeing about people bitching hard about the Kings, I know they traded away some of their guys as well. I kind of liked them as a fave, even with Memphis, some of their guys going down.
Yeah. I wouldn't tell you no. I mean, this is, I don't want to say a must-win, must-have spot for the Kings. It's still the NBA. Those don't really exist at this point, but you're on a brutal skid, and you're getting the team without Ja tonight in a pretty crucial spot before you go and play the Cavs on Wednesday. It feels like one you got to have. Desperation spot.
Don't want to force, going to trust gut. I'm honestly starting to lean towards just running a two-piece poll and keeping it quality over quantity and keeping it on the ice with the Blue Jackets and with the Wild.
Two Ice Dogs, I'm down. Obviously very down.
Or knowing that Trent is 1,000% going to be on the Dodgers. How do we not?
I don't know if we squad ride Cubs, man. I'm down to take it out of principle. But squad ride, that just feels like we're trying to do it just to do it.
Okay. All right. Let's run a two-piece poll, quality over quantity. No need to force. Tie goes to the smaller squad ride poll. Okay, as it should. Quality over quantity. 2 plays, 2 winners here, chat. You got 3 minutes to lock in your votes. Please get involved. If you're watching on YouTube, that's awesome. We appreciate you guys. But you got to make your way over to the Twitch chats at Bookit Sports. Could not be easier to find this stream on Twitch at Bookit Sports and lock in your votes in the squad ride poll in the chat. All right, do me a favor, guys. Take a second away from work. Take a second away from your lunch or whatever, and look at the fucking poll in the Twitch chat and click the button of your favorite play you heard us talk about today. Guys, not a hard question. 2 options. Okay, get involved. 2 plays, 2 winners. Okay, we got the Blue Jackets on the ML and the Wild on the ML. Looks like the Blue Jackets, which we both had on our sharp reports, is taking the early lead.
Yeah.
We got Joshy in the chat. Krabs Rick Barnes breaks through and gets Tennessee to their first ever Final Four. GBO, Joshy. You know what, dude? I've heard crazier takes. I'd stick on that one. I'd stand on that one, Joshy. I mean, it's your school as well, so you're going to anyways, but I'd stick with that take. Joshy, I've heard worse takes. Who knows? You know, as a contrarian, I could certainly get down with back in the, historically one of the worst, best coaches around this time of year. And that's Coach.
Funny enough, Krabs, you know who I feel like is starting to get a little swept?
Who?
Out of all like the top teams, the SEC teams, I haven't heard a peep. All the talk, unfortunately, is about Florida. If Houston can make it through, like against the Zags, like you got all these dominant teams. I feel like I haven't heard a peep about Auburn. And maybe that's recency bias after what happened last year. They came into the tournament, hottest team in basketball, and lost to Yale. They feel like the top team, the 1 seed that's getting just forgotten through all of this.
Yeah, and let's not forget, they are all 25 years old. They're grown-ass men. And Bruce Pearl, probably the best coach right now in college basketball without a natty. Is that going to last forever? Maybe it does. But if he's going to do it, wouldn't it be something if he does it with that Michigan arc in college football where they stink it up last year? They get knocked out early, right? He goes to Yale last year. And then this season,
just not as bad.
Sure. Yep. And then this season, when nobody wants to take you, when you finish the season terribly, that's when they do it. I told Stephen A that St. John's loses first round. I'm sure he really appreciated that one, Trent. I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's probably like, fuck this guy, dude. Shitting on St. John's.
That would be so
Trent,
funny, though.
You're going to look sharp when it comes through and happens.
You could be mega mind if that happens.
All right. Make sure you guys check out that interview or that pods with Stephen A. and Trent. I'm sure that'll be on the feed later today. For now, we got a surge stream starting up right after this. I believe we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Wow.
W Gucci,
Rare.
W Trent, W Squad Rides, Blue Jackets ML on the ice. All right. We'll catch you guys at the counter late night tonight. Knock on woods. Stick around for the surge stream. Pitch Trent a winner on a Monday. Lord knows he needs it. Okay. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be.
We'll be.
Peace, guys.